Viridia was a city of fractured dreams and unkept promises, a place where the lines between order and chaos blurred into a constant, uneasy haze. Officer Damon Thorne, a man who saw the world in stark blacks and whites, was one of its most zealous enforcers. At 28, with the kind of sculpted good looks that could charm a jury and the sharp-edged ambition that could cut a rival, he was a man on a mission to prove that his gut instinct was the only law that mattered. His badge wasn't just an emblem of authority. It was a shield, a license to act on the slightest whisper of suspicion. He lived by the mantra that if someone looked out of place, they probably were, and their discomfort was all the justification he needed. His partner, Ben Carter, was an old-timer with more miles on him than a patrol car on its last legs. He'd seen it all and, as a result, had learned to see very little, preferring to observe the world with a weary, detached resignation. He knew the city's rhythms, the slow, deliberate pulse of its wealthy, and the panicked, frantic beat of its poor. But Damon? Damon saw only patterns of behavior that confirmed his biases. One suffocatingly hot afternoon, the air thick with the smell of exhaust and impending rain, Damon's hawk-like gaze fell upon a sleek, silver sedan gliding through the manicured streets of Evergreen, the city's most affluent district. It moved with a serene slowness, a deliberate pace that screamed of someone with nowhere to be and all the time in the world to get there. To Ben, it was just a driver taking a leisurely cruise. But to Damon, that careful slowness was a red flag, a neon sign flashing, hiding something. "Look at that," Damon muttered, his hand already on the siren switch. "Creeping along like they're trying to stay invisible. Probably got a trunk full of contraband. Time for a little peek." The piercing wail of the siren cut through the oppressive heat, and the silver sedan, without so much as a jerk, gracefully pulled to the curb. A man in his late 60s, clad in a suit that looked like it was spun from moonlight, stepped out. He carried himself with an effortless dignity that was almost infuriating. He introduced himself simply as Mr. Sterling. "Is there a problem, officer?" Mr. Sterling asked, his voice a calm, deep river, an unruffled sound that only fanned the flames of Damon's ego. Damon didn't dignify the question with an answer. He swaggered out of his patrol car and began a slow, deliberate circle around the sedan, his movements predatory, a shark circling a curious prey. He pounded on the hood, the hollow thud echoing the frustration building inside him. "Mind telling me why you're driving so slow?" "Trying to stay off the grid. I was adhering to the posted speed limit," Mr. Sterling replied, his hands at his sides, his composure a fortress of calm. That quiet defiance was a match to Damon's fuse. "Probable cause? Your slow crawl is all the cause I need. Open the trunk." Mr. Sterling's deep well of patience was finally reaching its end. "With all due respect, officer, I believe you need probable cause to search my vehicle. And simply driving at a legal speed is not probable cause." That statement, delivered with such quiet authority, was a direct challenge to Damon's self-proclaimed right to act on whim. His face hardened, the mask of a man accustomed to getting his way. "Open it now." A small, weary sigh escaped Mr. Sterling's lips, a gesture of concession. He opened the trunk. Inside, there was nothing but a few grocery bags, a folded blanket, and tucked in a far corner, a small, unremarkable metal safe. It was the safe that caught Damon's eye, a single, compelling point of interest in an otherwise mundane tableau. Well, what's this?" Damon's voice dropped to a low, predatory growl. "Personal property," Mr. Sterling answered, his tone now cold. "Private, huh? We'll see about that." Mr. Sterling's body went rigid. "That safe is a private possession. You have no right to open it without a warrant." Damon laughed, a sharp, cynical sound that grated on the humid air. "And you think I'm just going to take your word for it?" He walked to his patrol car and pulled a crowbar from the trunk, its steel glinting in the harsh afternoon sun. "Officer, you are making a grave error," Mr. Sterling warned, his voice now a mere whisper, a last, desperate plea. "An error?" Damon grinned, a triumphant smirk on his face. He wedged the crowbar under the safe's lid. "Let's find out." With a few brutal heaves, the The safe's lock gave way with a sickening crack. Damon stepped back, the smirk still fixed on his face, expecting to find stacks of cash or illegal weapons. But what he found was something far worse, a well-crafted catastrophic disaster. The instant the lid lifted, a pressurized hiss filled the air, followed by a violent, blinding jet of dense white foam. It shot out of the safe with the precision of a trained marksman, directly into Damon's face. The blast was so powerful it knocked him backward, sending him tumbling onto the sidewalk. For a second, he was frozen, a statue of disbelief. Then came the panic. "What is this? What the hell is this?" he shrieked, clawing at the thick, sticky substance. But it clung to him like a living thing, hardening on contact with the air. It covered his eyes, his mouth, his nose, forming a grotesque, solid mask. His muffled screams were now nothing more than garbled, pathetic pleas. Ben, who had been watching the scene unfold in silent horror, finally got out of the patrol car, his jaw on the floor. "Damon, you all right?" he asked, a choked laugh escaping his lips. "Do I look all right?" Damon howled, his voice a distorted, muffled scream from within his foamy prison. "Get this off me. I don't think water's going to do it, man," Ben said, his eyes wide. "We might have to call, I don't know, someone who cleans up this kind of mess." "What kind of mess?" "Just handle it." Damon wailed that Mr. Sterling, who had watched the entire scene unfold with a faint, almost imperceptible smirk, spoke up. "I did warn you, officer." Damon, a monument of angry foam, turned his head blindly in Mr. Sterling's general direction. "This is assault. You're under arrest." Mr. Sterling tilted his head. "For what? For having a security device in my private property? Or for you breaking into my private property without a warrant? I'm quite certain the law is not on your side today." Damon was too busy trying to scrape the rock-hard foam from his face to reply. Mr. Sterling calmly pulled out his phone and started recording. "Smile for the camera, officer. This is what we call evidence." "Stop. You can't do that," Damon screamed. "Oh, I think I can," Mr. Sterling said smoothly. "This little recording will be very helpful in explaining why I needed a specialized defense system in my safe in the first place." Ben, sweating now, grabbed his radio. "We're going to need backup, and maybe a hazmat team." Mr. Sterling nodded, a knowing smile on his face. "And while you're at it, you might want to call your supervisor. I imagine they'll want to hear all about this." The full weight of the situation crashed down on Damon. The humiliation, the professional disgrace, the fact that he was standing there, a living joke, all because of his own arrogance. He was defeated. As Ben helped guide the stumbling, foam-covered Damon back to the patrol car, Mr. Sterling slid back into his sedan. He rolled down the window one last time. "Next time, officer," he said, his voice as calm as a summer breeze, "try respecting the law instead of just wearing the uniform. It'll save you a lot of trouble and a lot of foam." With that, Mr. Sterling drove away, leaving Damon a foamy, defeated mess on the pavement of Viridia, a city that had just taught him a very painful lesson about the difference between being the law and being a law-abiding citizen.